Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are live today. Gone live on this platform in a while. I'm trying to get my content together for this channel. I haven't even chosen an intro music for this channel. So um, I'm really trying to get this together. Um, I don't know. Hold on, I'm trying to fix a few things. Okay, there we go. I don't know. Some of these things are out of whack today. So let me fix one more thing. That's the Zoom pan. There we go. Um, move this. There we go. Because the Zoom pan, yeah, we'll talk about that, what that is later on. So, my name is Michelle, aka the live streaming teacher. I am, what I do on this channel is I help teachers who want to leave the profession, but, well, let me back that up, who want to stay connected to education but do not want to teach in the public school anymore. And you're looking at yours truly. I am one of those people, but a little bit about me is I started my business. It's been years, 2013, and I can't believe it's been that long. And it has evolved over the years into something that I never imagined what you see here today. So I uh, have noticed that a lot of teachers that are fleeing the public school system for obvious reasons. For me, I have been teaching for 24 years, and I just have found that waking up and going to a school system is not for me anymore. I um, it's sad to see what is happening to the public school system, but I still want to support teachers who want to be a part of that. And make no mistake, I am not discouraging you from becoming an educator. It was a profession that gave me so much, and it's just not the same profession that I entered into, and the politics and all of that stuff, that's for a later um, show. So if you're watching this on the replay, um, drop a comment in the comment section to let me know where you're watching it from. If you have any questions, you can drop them there too. I'm starting this channel from scratch, and I'm really excited about what I have to offer. So, what I do on here is I help teachers that are leaving the field. And I know there are going to be some business owners that are interested in this content that are not former educators, and that's okay. But just as a disclaimer, it's really geared towards educators. And what I'm doing is I'm taking what we do as educators to take your skills and become an expert in delivering that content. As for example, for me, I am a math teacher. My specialty is math intervention. That's my specialty. I close gaps. As a matter of fact, I have one of my um, many memberships that's going to be real low price, real accessible, called the Gap Closer Society, where I provide lessons for educators who need skills and resources where it just closed those gaps. So that's my skill. But before you get to all of this, before you get to all of this, all the things, as people say, all the things, you have to be able to plan. And educators are taught to plan lessons. So in this delivery, I was talking to my brother the other day, and he sells insurance, and he said he picked up a school. I said, "Hey, no disrespect to your school, but I mean to your profession, but you all are boring. Yes, they're boring." And he was like, "Well, I know." And he said, "We're not used to." I said, "Yeah, it's not a lecture. When you deliver a workshop or a live stream, it's an intimate setting. It's you engaging your audience through talking with them, or engaging in the chat, or engaging with them and the content. Hey, break this down. Tell me what this answer is quick. So it's those three different ways that you can engage your audience, which we do naturally as educators because we engage kids and the kids engage with us. So that's my what I do is to teach you all how to take my teach model or framework and plan your your workshops and your live streams. So let's start here. So the first one is your technology. And my technology of choice is eCam. And you could be using um you could be using Restream, you could be using StreamYard, but you have to have a technology of choice. This is the live stream or a workshop. You could still use Restream for your workshop, however you want to do it, embedded into a web page, but that conversation for another day. So you could use that. You could use that for if you wanted to. But my technology of choice is eCam for my live streams, but it switches over for my workshops. Now, if I am doing a workshop that is very, a small, because I do like $10 workshops, and I use Zoom for those virtual workshops. Then, if I do like a workshop slash webinar, something free, I use Crowdcast for that. So my technology, and oh, just a disclaimer on that, my technology of choice changed over time. It did not change like when I first started. It just didn't. It changed over time. So choose your technology. You have to be sound. And honestly, I'm not really big on, how, what technology, telling people what technology to use or the platform to use, because it's based on what you need. I started out with Be Live. I didn't like Be Live. And then I was introduced to eCam. And then I've been using eCam for the last 5 years. So moving on, the next one is engagement. And I talked a little bit about this. Your engagement is between you and me and people in your audience, and then is your content. So those are three ways that you can engage your audience. And engagement is subjective to what audience you have. Engagement for people that teach or actually teach something or how to do something, like architects, engineer, the way that you engage is totally different than somebody who is teaching someone how to do video. It's totally different. It's your engagement for art teachers is going to be different than your engagement for ELA teachers, because for some reason ELA teachers, they get a kick out of, yeah, the whole genre thing. Like yeah. Moving on. But yeah, so engagement is subjective. You don't have to take what I do and implement it. It is based on the content that you deliver. So if you are a teacher or a business owner and you're teaching them about behavior, what does that look like to engage with your audience and you? What does it look like to engagement when you engage your audience together? What does that look like when they are engaging in the content? So it's back and forth. It doesn't look the same. And to be honest with you, you should transition and jump back between the two, but depending on where you are in your workshop or your live stream. So the next one are your activities. Your activities are just some things. These are some questions. How do you encourage connecting with your audience? So, what activity are you going to use to encourage them to um, connect with the audience? So, that could be something that they have to do in the chat. That's an activity. Activity means actually doing something. So the next question is, how do you encourage participants to connect with each other online or during your live stream? And the last one is, how can you best communicate what is important about your content? So those are three things that I really pulled away. How can you think about the best way to connect with what you're delivering, how to get that over? Because if you're going to teach something, teaching something means that the people actually learn and it's an actionable item. A lecture is just giving of information. That's, people always ask me, well, what's the difference between a webinar and a workshop? Well, webinars are just delivery of information. So if a person wants to know more about who you are and what you offer, that will be the next steps, which would to be engaged deeper than the webinar. Webinars just give information. That's all they do, in my opinion. But a workshop is a more intimate setting. It has objectives, it has goals, and people expect to get something out of it. The next one is in the T.E.A.C.H model is conversation. Will you give your audience time to reflect on new learning? Will you use the chat for conversation, Q&A polls, or another platform? So some of the stuff that I use in my classroom, I use online. I'm really delving into that because I want to be able to move beyond the video bells and whistles, like this applause. Those are like sprinkles on a birthday cake, but the engagement piece and the conversation, because the adult learning theory, you don't have to go in depth as much as you have to with kids, but um with adults, they come with experiences. So your conversation with them is going to move very, very quickly. So let's see. And the last question on here, will you use the chat for conversation? Will you use Q&As? I know when I was presenting at eCam, I was talking about how you can use different types of platforms to put up people's responses. I know polls are done, but there's other ways to make it, I guess how they say you can make it sexy. Um, so it looks better. So that's a different way to do. You can use Padlet. So, but I'll go more as you engage with me, um, more in depth. So if you like what you're hearing, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you'll know when I go live. And the last one is help. What are the participants' next steps? Can the participants contact you if they have questions? So this step is very, very important for business owners. If you're a teacher, they have to know, what are my next steps? Are you going to offer something? Most of the time people pitch their offer. When you have webinars, you have a no pitch webinar and you have a pitch. Some of them is just giving the offers, some of them which is a pitch, and some of them are just, hey, here's a free webinar. I'm not going to try to sell you anything today. But, what do I need to do? Because if you're giving them information, you're trying to get to move them through that customer journey. And the first one is awareness. If they are attending your live stream or connecting with you on any of those platforms, that is the first step. So I hope that this is helpful. I do have a freebie, which is the Teach model, and you can download it for free and get started. It's a way to help you plan, because let me tell you, a workshop, live streams don't come together. If you see your favorite people that you follow every day, that doesn't happen by osmosis. It just doesn't happen like that. It's planning. And that's what you have to do. Now, it's not lesson plan planning, but it's planning. So, thank you for tuning in with me. If you have any questions, comments, I will circle back and answer those questions. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you all in my next live stream. Bye-bye.